Let me ask you something straight from the heart. Are you exhausted, running on empty, feeling like you're doing everything for God, and yet somehow you've never felt so far from Him? Listen, God doesn't want you to burn out. He wants you to burn on purpose. In Leviticus 6, God gave the priests a clear command. The fire on the altar must never go out. Day and night, they had to tend that fire. It wasn't optional, because that fire represented something powerful, God's presence and our devotion. But here's what we often miss. The fire wouldn't keep itself alive. Someone had to show up daily, clean out the ashes, and put fresh wood on the flames. Now let's bring that into your life. You love God. You serve. You give. You pray when you can. But somewhere in the middle of all the doing, you lost the burning. You're tired, not just physically, but spiritually. You're overwhelmed and secretly wondering, why does this feel so hard? Could it be you've been burning for everything except God? You're showing up for church, but not showing up in His presence. You're checking off devotionals, but your heart is distracted. You're serving people, but forgetting to sit at His feet. You're burning for approval, for perfection, for likes, followers, titles, achievements, and slowly you became the fuel for your own fire. That's why you're burnt out, because you became the sacrifice, instead of putting your heart on the altar and letting God's fire consume it. The fire on the altar wasn't just about passion. It was about order, about daily dependence, about putting God first every single day. Romans 12:1 says, "Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God." This is your true and proper worship. You're not called to collapse. You're called to surrender. When you give God your heart, your time, your attention, He brings the fire. But when you give Him your leftovers, that fire dies down. Not because God left, but because you stopped showing up. Here's the beautiful news. You can start again. Today, you don't need a stage, a crowd, or a perfect life. You just need to show up. Lay your heart on the altar and say, "God, here I am. Light me up again." Ask Him to remove the ashes of yesterday, the burnout, the disappointment, the guilt, and put fresh wood on your altar, His word, His presence, His purpose, because you were never meant to be consumed by this world. You were meant to shine with His fire. If this spoke to your heart today, if you're ready to stop burning out and start burning on purpose, type Amen in the comments. Let the fire begin again. God's not done with you. Keep the fire burning every day.